Hi, this is Doug.
And I'm Cindy.
Welcome to Help Me Help Mama 5cast. Well, today we've got a question. What exactly is a nursing home? And most people know or think they know what nursing homes are, but I think this person was looking for a little more information. So let's kind of give an overview of what we have seen. We're in a lot of nursing homes. So
Okay. I think the real question is the level of care that is being provided, because there are different types of nursing homes, and the level of care that is needed is 24 hours basically. It may not be every minute. You're not going to get every minute of everyday care provided, but there's care there if you need it 24 hours a day. So
when you go to a nursing home, you need a skilled level, like a professional level of skilled care, like nursing care.
Right.
And a lot of people don't go until really the last few months of their lives. I mean, they stay at home or in assisted living or independent living.
Unless they have like a health event, they fall, break a shoulder or a hip or some other bone, and then they need rehabilitation. They'll go to sometimes a nursing home to get that to the rehab wing or into the general population if they don't have a separate wing for the rehabilitation.
Yeah, my mom had a stroke and she was in and out of nursing homes the last 2 years of her life. You see people with severe Alzheimer's maybe in a nursing home the last few years of their life, or at least last few months of their life.
And that brings up an issue. Some of the nursing homes have separate units, either a memory unit or a secure unit for people with different forms of dementia.
Because with Alzheimer's, it needs to be kind of a secluded environment, a secure environment, a calmer environment. And so a lot of nursing homes have a separate unit where it is this calmer, where they can get them the help they need without the hustle and bustle of the general population.
Okay, so there are different types of buildings, if you will. One is a private care home. We're fortunate enough to have several of those around here, and this is a private home in a neighborhood. If you drive by it, you won't be able to tell it's any different from any other residence, but it has a maximum number of residents that are receiving a skilled level of care there in that home.
In this one you're talking about, the number's 3. They'd have 3 residents. In other states and other areas, they may have they may even have licensing requirements, or it may be totally private where there's 4 people or 6 people, but a lot fewer than a typical nursing home with maybe 100 residents. This is small and private, and the CNA to resident ratio, instead of being like 1 to 30 or something like that, would be 1 to 3. So
right.
Be a big difference. So this is something that you may want to check out in your area. Private residences like this, or private homes, are usually private pay, which means you pay for them out of pocket, and there's no government assistance available usually. But maybe long-term care insurance.
Long-term care insurance or VA. Some of the VA programs. Okay, so the next one is the typical one that you think of when you get online and you search nursing homes in my area. What pops up?
Well, you'll see several, and they'll be the typical corporate, the bigger nursing homes. One of the important things is, if your loved one is where they need a skilled level of care, just go check several of them out. Really, there's no substitute for this, and you may want to take a checklist with you, so you don't get distracted where you compare apples to apples at each facility. At this facility you looked at that facility looked at the same thing, that facility looked at the same thing, and then later you can compare and you can think, which one of these homes that I visited would provide the best care for my loved one.
Absolutely. And even when you get it down to that level and you've looked at several of the bigger corporate facilities, there are some that are broken up into cottages.
Right, and cottages is like maybe they're 9,000 square feet, but there's a facility I was at last week, and I think they got like 12 different cottages. Very nice. Each resident has their own room, and there's big common areas, big kitchens, and so this is And we got another C-130 coming that may drown us out in a minute. Okay.
But it is a smaller.
Let's let this pass, Maggie. Give us this second.
Okay, it's just one.
Do you know how many rivets is on the belly of a C-130? We counted all of them. Anyway, what was we talking about?
The cottages.
The cottages, yeah.
Yes, it's a big nursing facility, corporate owned, but it's broken down into cottages, where there are fewer residents within each cottage, and it may be a separate cottage for those that have some form of dementia. So it's care that is it's like a small group home, if you will.
Another thing that you may want to look at is the rehab facilities available. There's one facility that we toured recently that has some real state-of-the-art rehab equipment. And if your loved one, say mom falls and breaks a hip, a lot of times you go from the hospital to your local nursing home to a special rehab wing of that nursing home where you work with a rehab equipment, and there maybe with physical therapists, speech therapists, and you're in there usually for maximum 100 days, which coincidentally is the maximum amount that Medicare will pay for care. And sometimes it's not even 100 days, not even close to that. Right. But you're there for the purpose of being rehabbed and getting better.
And the point here is that we want to make is that you need to tour these facilities, and if your loved one does need rehabilitation, check and make sure they have the equipment that your loved one is going to need when they get there. Because we've had clients that went to a place where they didn't have the equipment, and they said, "Oh, we'll get it," and they anyway, it makes a difference if they have the equipment when your loved one arrives.
So we hope these few tips help. Remember, take a notepad with you, do an apples to apples comparison of each facility you're touring, and to make sure that you're finding the right facility for your loved one.
So thank you for being a caregiver for your loved one. You're making a huge difference in their life.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this, click on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, and click on that little notification bell to be notified the next time we do a video.
And if you want to interact with us, check out the description below and leave us a comment and let us know what legal or caregiver topics you'd like to hear about.